Hello, students. How many of you still have that element of fear as to what and how to write an appreciation? Well, today I'm going to teach you some trick of writing an appreciation, and by the end of this class, you would have overcome that element of fear. Now, what is an appreciation? An appreciation is not retelling the poem. An appreciation is not writing every line. Then what is an appreciation? Is simply telling the examiner that you have understood the poem and here's why it is beautiful for everyone to appreciate it. It is you who are giving the appreciation of that poem. My dear students, 5 points that you ought to remember when writing an appreciation. First is the title of the poem, then the poet. Then you look out for the rhyme scheme. Now, the rhyme schemes are either ABBA, ABAB, AABB. That's if it is in this form. Otherwise, there are some poems which are in free verse. There is no rhyme scheme. Now, where do you find these rhyming words? You'll find them in every stanza. Look out for the last word of the line in every stanza, and that will give you the rhyme scheme. The fourth point is your figures of speech. Now, every poem will have figures of speech. Now, you don't have to search for them. There are some common ones like alliteration, onomatopoeia, simile, metaphor, repetition. Look out for these first. So, there's no such way of learning so hard. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting where the figures of speech are. Look out for these 4 or 5. Okay? Your figures of speech. And the fifth one is learn to write the central idea of the poem. Now, today in this class, we are writing an appreciation on All the World's a Stage, right? So, your title is All the World's a Stage. The poet William Shakespeare. Now, gone are the days when we used to learn the title of the poem and the poet. Today, it's given to you in your question paper. So, even that learning has been simplified for you. Then learn to identify the rhyming words. Now, in this case, there is no rhyme scheme. So, I write blank verse. Then, what are the figures of speech in this poem? You've got metaphor, simile, alliteration, repetition, right? And then your central idea of the poem. The theme of this poem is that life constantly changes. So, basically, it is a cycle of life. So, students, that's it. If you feel that you have covered all these points, the title, the poet, the rhyme scheme, the figure of speech, the central idea, you have covered everything that the examiner is looking out from you while writing the appreciation, right? Let's apply these 5 points and write an appreciation. I've given you a sample appreciation on All the World's a Stage. First thing you ought to know, my dear students, is that you will write the appreciation in paragraph form and not in point form. Although you get those pointers organized, you will still write the appreciation in its paragraph form. So, what do you see in what I've given you on the screen? It's in a paragraph form. First thing. Next, All the World's a Stage. That's your title there. Written by William Shakespeare. There again is the poet. It is written in blank verse, your rhyme scheme. So, it has no rhyme scheme. Now, to add flair to your appreciation, my dear students, please write a line or two. The poem beautifully compares life to a stage, making metaphor the main figure of speech. You see, my dear students, how I've applied the figure of speech while writing the appreciation. Now, the other figures of speech are simile, alliteration, repetition. All this add to the emphasis and the beauty of the poem. Then you go on by saying Shakespeare explains the 7 stages of life from infancy to old age. Every stage has its own responsibilities, emotions, experiences. The poem highlights that no stage of life is permanent and that change is only constant. So, this is all, my dear students. If you want to add, you add. For those who are looking out for better marks, please add. Okay? And finally, the central idea of the poem. What does it say? Life is a continuous journey of change where every individual passes through different phases before the final exit. Before we move out from this world, every individual will go through these 7 stages of life. What a wonderful poem written by William Shakespeare. All the world's a stage. So the next time the board asks you to write an appreciation, do not panic. Do not start scratching your head and say, oh, sir, now what do I write? How do I write? Just remember the title is there in the question paper. The poet is there in the question paper. So you have got your 1 mark there itself. Then the rhyme scheme, the figure of speech will again give you a mark or two. Then your central idea and what message can you derive while writing this appreciation. You can write an appreciation, say, for almost 8 to 10 lines, okay, sufficient to get you good enough for marks. Now, follow these steps and writing the appreciation will become an easy task for you. Some of the common mistakes most students make. Some are only writing the summary. You forget to write the poet's name. Some ignore the figures of speech. Some write in past tense. Some give their personal opinion without explaining why. Some just write and say, okay, this is what it is. So this is where you start losing your marks. So if you keep in mind these 5 points which I've given you, probably you will get your marks as you desire. So my dear students, remember, once this structure becomes a habit, the structure of writing an appreciation, poetry appreciation changes from a confusing question into one of the easiest scoring sections of your English paper, right? So my dear students, I want you to learn this structure well. This structure consists 5 marks in your board paper. So you can easily get at least 3 out of 5. Okay. So don't forget, my dear students, once the structure becomes a habit, scoring or writing an appreciation becomes an easy task. That's all for you in today's class. As we come to an end of today's class, do give me a like. Share this class with your other friends. And if you have yet not subscribed to my channel, please do so right away.